Hi there, my name is Simon Pearce. I'm a film director from the UK, and I'm here to talk with Brave New Hollywood about my upcoming Stephen King adaptation, I Am the Doorway. I had a natural interest at an early age, I think, because both my parents were in the industry. So my mum does makeup and my dad's a cameraman. And then one weekend I picked up the family video camera just because I was bored. I think I was about 11 or 12, and myself and a friend just made up a film on the spot. And there was just something about the process I really enjoyed, just coming up with the story, blocking it out with the actors. And I just knew then that's something I wanted to do. So it became a regular feature every weekend. Me and my friends would just get together and we would come up with ideas and just go out and shoot them. And then eventually, things became more advanced with, getting used to editing software, better cameras. And it just went from there, really. It's actually, not straightforward, but, perhaps more easy to do than you might think. So I wasn't aware, but he runs a scheme called Dollar Babies, where he puts a series of his short stories up every year for option, and you can apply for the rights to those for $1. So it's a way for up-and-coming filmmakers to get exposure. It's strictly non-commercial, so it's not for profit, it's just for film festivals. But I think like Frank Darabont did one early in his career. Other than the non-profit aspect, the only other sort of strict rule is you have to do it within 12 months of getting the rights. It's something loads of people do. Lots of people have adapted this story before. And it's a really great scheme and great idea. I think the nice thing about shorts is that to an extent you can just go out and make them. So obviously features, when they're sort of independent, low budget, can take a long time to get off the ground. And, shorts is something you can do in the meantime, not only to try out new ideas, but you can continue to hone your craft. You're always learning stuff, even if it's smaller scale. I Am the Doorway is about a former astronaut, Arthur, who has been on a deep space mission to Pluto, but then his space shuttle crashes upon his return. His co-pilot is killed and he is left in a wheelchair. And he now lives in retirement in a remote sort of coastal cabin, and he's trying to convince his friend Richard that he thinks something has come back with him from space, something that is now causing him to have these horrible alien visions and even to kill people. And the reason he thinks that is because he's discovered these horrible alien eyes in his hand, which I think is just a very horrible sort of creepy idea. So vision for the film, we really want to make something that is sort of visually beautiful, something that really kind of contrasts with the horror. So even though these quite dark and sinister things are happening, it's kind of framed with a very cinematic landscape, lots of sort of widescreen set pieces. So the cinematographer we've got on board, filmmaker, who's done things like Casino Royale, The Mask of Zorro, it's just perfect for that, because we want it to have quite a sort of classic cinema feel, and things like the body horror element of film, we really want to do that practically. So again, it's reminiscent of things like John Carpenter's The Thing, David Cronenberg's The Fly. So something that feels a little bit retro as well. And I think if people look at the poster we've got online at the moment, you can see the kind of feel we're going for with that. So I wanted to do something a bit darker, and this story definitely is that. And basically one of the writers, Jeffrey Stackhouse, contacted me after seeing Judas Ghost at a festival. He was a great fan and supporter of the movie, and he'd acquired the rights to this story and wanted to know if I'd be interested in doing it. So I went out and read the original book, which is from Stephen King's collection, Night Shift. And I really liked it. I thought it was very creepy. It felt quite different to a lot of the horror I'd sort of seen and read before. Visually it had a lot of potential just on the page. And then what Jeffrey, Richard and Wendy, the other two writers, have done in their adaptation, I think is really interesting. So it's that made me want to do it. As I said, the fact that it was a short film, I think didn't matter. There was a chance to tell a really interesting story there. So that's what grabbed me. So when it's done, as I said, it is strictly not-for-profit by the rules of the King Agreement. So it's very much about exposure for myself and obviously the other people involved at film festivals. So the plan is to target as many horror film festivals as we can. I discovered doing Judas, not only are there so many, but the horror community is so kind of passionate and loyal that, we think we can make something that really has an impact there. So yeah, it's just to get it out to festivals and hopefully, get a lot of people to see it and, be kind of captivated by the story. I know Stephen King does get given a DVD of all of these as well, so it'd be nice to think, that he's going to watch it and like it, but who's to say? Whenever I make films, it is always about entertainment, so it's about, I guess, evoking an emotion, whether that's excitement or sadness or someone scared. I'm not someone who's trying particularly to send a message at this point or anything like that. Yeah, it's just about entertaining and what stories captivate me at that time. We're crowdfunding a portion of our budget. So if people go to it's igg.me /@/doorway 2016, we're crowdfunding at the moment on Indiegogo. So people can help contribute money to the film. Even if you can't do that, just sharing it, retweeting it, all of that goes a long way. There's some great incentives we've got for people who do donate. So, you can get tickets to the premiere, you can get sort of exclusive behind the scenes updates, you can even become a producer on the film, sign merchandise, all that kind of stuff. So there's hopefully a lot of exciting things, for people who do get involved. But please do check out the page. You'll see all the great people we've got on board. We've got amazing visual effects company Illusion Industries, who've done things like Blade, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Mask. Simon Pearce, who was in Judas Ghost and has also been in things like Spartacus and Dominion, The Tomorrow People. He's agreed to be our lead, which is awesome. So yeah, please do check out the page. You can also find us on Facebook, which is /I am the Doorway 2016, or @Doorway 2016 on Twitter. And again, you can see all of our updates there. So please follow the project, share and donate if you can. That'd be great.